So how many teams in W?
12? Is it
12.
12? 12 or
And,
14?
and you got 24, you
Well,
got 24 picks.
So yeah.
Top five picks are mainly the ones that that uh
12?
that stay that really like if they get picked up, they stay.
But
And
they
that's like
cut
the first round.
they cutting the last year they were cutting top 5 picks. We're getting cut in camp. So
oh,
the job security in WNBA is not it's not guaranteed. Like Ham said, I don't think she's the guaranteed star in the WNBA.
oh
I don't
no,
think it's
no, that's definitely
guaranteed.
not starting now. Not
I
starting
don't think
now,
it's
no.
guaranteed. So it's an interesting choice, man. But I'll say this before as we get into the show. I'm just glad the women, even with some of the BS that America's men have put upon them,
Which
I'm
is
glad the women's game is getting the coverage. Like 12 million viewers for that game. That's great. Like that's awesome. So I'm just glad that they're getting coverage. Uh, I think the Final Four. We just gonna get right into it, ladies first. You are watching 94 Feet of Life. Final Four preview. We're gonna preview both Final Fours, and then we're gonna get into the last 2 weeks of the NBA season, like which is wild that we even here. But fellas, Trav Ham in the building, man. 94 Feet of Life is a Facebook group. Subscribe to the YouTube. Let's start with the ladies, man. I thought, you know, it was to me, Ham, you a historian, you might be able to go back and check this. I think it was the biggest night in the history of the women's game. Was was last night. Was those two, and they weren't even Final Four. This is the regional finals, but I cannot think of a bigger night in the women's game than that.
No, no, not even none of the like when Tennessee and UConn were both like flexing, not even those. Uh, I can't think of that. Maybe the '96 gold medal game for the women, and they didn't draw 12 and 12.3.
Right.
So uh, it's dude games that don't draw 12-3 on Monday night
Right. It's NBA Finals
with a
game
lot of
didn't draw that.
states.
It's NBA
Right,
Finals games don't draw that.
right. You know what I'm saying? Like with a lot of states. You know what I'm saying? They're not drawing 12-3. But there's a lot of casuals that's with it, and it's like, hey, welcome. Y'all come on in. You know what I'm saying? We told y'all this shit before.
Right.
That's how
Absolutely.
I look at it. We tried to tell y'all, and y'all see it that it is. Whether you're here for the star factor, you're here to root on certain stars, whatever, you're betting on the parlays, whatever brings you in. Welcome.
Parlay.
You know what I'm saying? From the hoop heads to all of us. You know what I'm saying? It was like, welcome to the party. But it's we watch hooping, so it's kind of one of those deals where we know what it is. And it's like I went into it, I had no dog in it. You know what I'm saying? I know a lot of people, our people, they rocking with, they rocking with LSU, whatever the case. I think the funniest post was somebody said that Caitlin shot the eyelashes off the
Let me tell you, I, I will say this for me. I have not watched. That was the first time I've watched a full 4 quarters of Caitlin Clark, like a full 4 quarters. You know what I'm saying?
She
Y'all know me.
lost.
I'm more than a casual, but I just haven't watched a full game of hers. Let me tell you something. I don't know what it's going to do at the WNBA level. I don't care. At this level, as an offensive talent, maybe Cheryl, maybe Maya Moore, maybe Tarasi, but the list is really short of women who can score like that. Like she had the one. I think me and Trav both said "ew" at the same time. Where she caught it like left elbowish, spun out of it, and sidestepped and launched it from about 25 bottom.
Yep. Just sidestep left because they was trying to push her left, but instead of guarding her and making her drive to go left, they would just had the body all on the right side. When she spin back into sidestep, launch, fire, caught.
Our elders and our old heads would tell us about, man, y'all didn't see Pistol Pete Maravich. I may not have saw Pistol Pete Maravich, but that's his daughter or his grandchild playing five.
She shoot.
She straight up a bucket from anywhere on the vicinity. It's like she put it up for 28, 29. Like, I do this. Like Dame. Like
Yeah.
Dame told Paul George, no, that's a bad shot for you. I shoot that. And I don't know what first of all, Kim Mulkey, she didn't have on one of those classic Freddie Blassie style blazers. She was off the
That's where
ball.
she messed up. She
That's
messed
where
up.
she messed up. You know what I'm saying? Because I think that fogged up her thinking because it's like with this on the line, you got to put the killer.
Yeah.
You can't even like play around with this. Starting out with like I told Trav, when Trav first mentioned the rules the game started, I said, oh, she did that because Haley probably the one that ran cross country, so she got the endurance. I told Trav, I'm not saying it's great logic.
And what did I say?
He said, bullshit. No, I'm not saying it's great logic, but
you know what Kim Mulkey did? Kim Mulkey pulled a George Karl move.
Yeah.
He pulled a George Karl. George Karl, for y'all don't remember, 96 finals, played Hersey Hawkins on Michael Jordan for the first 3 games of the series. Bulls went up 3-0. He put Gary Payton on Mike games 4 and 5. They won games 4 and 5. And then he went back to Hersey Hawkins.
Gary Payton put himself.
Yeah.
Oh my. Which he made the mistake of not staying on Mike when they went back to Chicago, but they game 6 was in the mud. They had a chance.
Now, I'm going to flip this over to the other game because Trav is the night owl out of all of us these days. So he stayed up for Juju versus Page, USC, UConn. Trav, give us the what you saw out of that one.
So if you wanted to see 2 prolific women scores, this was the game. Of course, Kayla can shoot the cup, but just scoring that basketball, Paige Becker and Juju Watkins was putting that thing in the basket. It's unfortunate that one of those teams had to lose, but that's just the way the basketball gods work in this game that we love. At the end of the day, the team of UConn was just slightly better than the team of USC because the others played better than USC. Everybody talks about Juju. Now Juju getting the recognition. Now she takes bad shots. What is a bad shot when the ball always comes to you?
Right.
Clock is down at 5 seconds. What is it where is it a bad shot when you 1-4 low?
Gotta go.
Gotta go. Juju is that type of person that's going to go. She got that work. She got that work. And y'all seen the highlights. She put that thing between her legs. And Econo spray paint Paige right there in the eyeballs. Paige come back off the curl. Jaybird.
Yeah.
They was guarding each other too. That was the thing about this game. Stars
This what I want to
guarded
ask you.
stars. They
This what I
guarded
want
stars.
to ask you.
I did that. I'm like, okay, I like this. I like this.
Since you was up and you watched this, where do you rank? You ain't even got to give us this answer right now. Think about it and post it in the group, whatever the case. But chop this clip up, whatever the case may be. Where does that rank in the duels that you've seen all time in college?
I
Men
think
and women, don't matter.
I think it was what I saw was a really good. Here's what I think you saw from what I saw in the clips. You seen Juju, who is still 18 years old.
Hey,
18 years old. And I think the games I saw from Juju down the stretch, I think you see now when she gets the conditioning part, the strength build up for a long season when you have to, as Trash said, the ball's gonna go to you. She gonna have the legs and the conditioning now to take 25 shots.
you know what's something to
Paige,
happen too?
go ahead. And you have a
I was
Paige.
gonna say,
Paige has got the off the ball stuff.
Right.
So Paige has I can go stand for 2 seconds, get my wind. I'll run you off that screen. I'll run you off a back pick. Paige doesn't have to work as hard to get buckets because she's more experienced. She understands off the ball movement. Juju is like, it's just 18-year-old energy. I just get the ball, and I go.
Get it as she
But
lives.
it's not. But you know what? The thing about that is, it ain't like she coming around. She's not doing it. It's coming to her because, hey, this is our best chance of scoring.
Yeah.
And what she's done is reignited that program. Because now she's finna get some help. Now you can put some folks around. And as you just stated, Big Shot, she get a chance to do what Paige got a chance to do. Grow as a player, especially at this level where the facilities are all right there before you get. You ain't got to go home.
You know,
put in as
I'm gonna
much
tell
work
you,
as you need to do.
and let me tell you, in this transfer portal era, if I'm USC's women coach, this is what we're gonna do. I can say this. We're gonna make a call to Ames, Iowa. Audi.
That's some cold inside out activity you talking about, right?
Listen, all Juju need is one person that can take the pressure off. One person.
But you know what though, Big Shot? Big Nasty. I call her Big Nasty, not because she's nasty. Just the way she gets down on that block, it's nasty work.
Word.
And it's work.
That's Escalade.
The thing about it, Big Shot, she's just a freshman.
That's why the NIA. I'm listening. Listen. If they find and maybe it's not Audi Crew, but if you find Juju another person who could just divert the attention away for a little bit, somebody like, and I think we're gonna talk about NC State. Like NC State got a couple of like just post players. They physical. They gonna set screens. They gonna take up space.
Mm-hmm.
But I thought for the women's game, I thought it was beautiful. And you talk about the Final Four now. we're gonna get another buckets. It's Paige versus Caitlin.
Hey, this one right here, yeah. This one might give you a little bit better than what you got last night, Trav.
It
Last
Only
might.
because
last night,
we talking about two vets.
last night,
Uh,
last night was big time. Friday is gonna be big time also.
I be up.
What I'm looking forward to seeing is what kind of Nick Nurse bag is Gino Oriana gonna go in?
Listen, if
Because I
I'm
seen it
Gino,
last night. This
yeah,
man has a box of one, a triangle and two,
throw the sink at her.
a 2-3. The only thing I seen a 2-2-1 and a 2-1-2. I did not see a 1-3-1. I did not see a 1-3-1.
Probably don't need to see what shit car didn't pull up.
I tell you, what makes Caitlyn so tough is what makes Luka tough in the NBA. She will not, under any circumstances, give that dribble up. Never. She's not gonna give it up. Which means if you Gino, you might have to get her in the backcourt. Now, that could set up a break the other way. But once you get across half court, you ain't gonna be able to get it. You have a hard time getting it out of hand. You have a really difficult time getting that ball out of her hand. And now we gotta talk about the other matchup, which I want to say with disrespect. But Ham is our wrestling historian, so he could tell you about Starrcade in the 80s. This Battle of the Carolinas. Now let me say this: South Carolina should win. But NC State will make this a street fight. And and what your boy Jeff Van Gundy used to say, they got a team of knife fighters. They gonna get up close with you. So South Carolina gonna have to they're gonna have to bring it. Cause I watched NC State against, I think Texas is better than NC State. But NC State made it ugly. They made it ugly early. This is gonna be a fight. We're gonna play this on Mud Island. So South Carolina, who has, as great as they are prone to droughts. Like they'll go 4 or 5 minutes without a bucket. You don't have that drought against NC State because you had that one against them. They will not let you back in the game.
And they can't have one of those where they be up 23 and then they give up 10 runs in different spots.
Yeah.
They give up a 10
good for
run,
that.
then put 6 back up there, go back and drop another 10. They can't do that with these folks. They can't do that the rest of the term, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Caitlin showed you that. Caitlin showed you that she had a problem with that just a year ago with really a better group of talent, in my opinion, than what's in Columbia now, which the team in Columbia probably is a better overall team. But them girls last year was killers.
Yeah.
They just had one rough. All it takes is one bad night.
Take one bad shooting.
Yeah.
Now flipping this over to the men's side, this is a pretty unlikely Final Four. It's not unlikely that UConn, first of all, let me say this about UConn. UConn win this. Are they better than Florida?
The run was better. They probably not a better team to a man, but the run was better.
Because UConn has really been making people look like they don't even belong.
Right.
I don't know about that Florida run because Duke had some crap like that happen too.
You know what though? Take that back. because I think the second Florida championship, they won all six by double figures,
See,
like UConn did
they
last
snapped
year.
off.
But
They
then if
snapped off.
UConn do that twice, then
But you figure even with like when Duke had the Kentucky game, one of the great. So Duke got scared along the way. UConn, this ain't even been close.
Stay the course. They've been staying the course.
I think it's like 7 teams historic, 7 or 8 that won all 6 tournament games by 10 or more. But the margin of what they doing now is gonna crush what Kentucky did in '96.
They put a 30-0 run on Illinois.
30 overall.
30.
Right.
I ain't seen the Warriors in their prime give nobody a 30-0.
No.
I ain't seen UNLV with LJ and them give nobody 30-0.
Dude, they be, man, and then the way they do it, it be like they be in AMG mode. It's like, it's just crispy, just go, turn
They
on.
remind me they remind me of the AAU team that was like when you was young, but they had a bunch of just cold hooping dudes, but they didn't necessarily have a star. And they be
Yeah.
ranked #1 coming to the nationals. They run through folks. They get challenged probably, but more times often than not, they gonna either be in the championship game or they won a championship. One or the other. It's just the kind of depth that they rolling with, you know what I'm saying? So, but the team that they playing can make it real fun. 'Cause they can score like a ball.
And one of the three, how many games they lost? Connecticut lost 3. Those, I think it was
Yeah.
3 or 4 games. Those 3 or 4 games, what did they do to Connecticut to lose? They shot the cover off of them.
And
Last team that beat them was Crate. I said Crate. Crate shot the cover off.
Yeah,
Alabama.
35-3. 35-3.
I've been saying this the whole time. If y'all go back to our show 2 weeks ago, got Alabama in my Final Four.
UConn is an 11.5 point favorite going into the thing.
It don't. You know what? It don't matter. It don't matter.
The over that 160.5. That'll get
well,
smashed.
I think they're gonna go over.
They can
Gonna hit 200.
they can get it, but Alabama got to. Alabama finna get attempts. Let's put that in.
No, they're gonna shoot it.
They're gonna shoot it. So if Connecticut covers that, they're gonna cover that because of their attempts. They're going to get more attempts because Alabama is letting that thing fly. NATO's gonna let them guys shoot the cover off their ball. And if
Number
Sears
1 in America in scoring.
score,
90.6 a game.
And you look at
Number 1 in
Alabama,
America.
what they did to Clemson and UNC. They had a semi-rough start. The first 10 minutes, they only had about 15, 18 points.
mm-hmm.
They are the equivalent of a team where you cannot let them see the ball go in the bucket. If that ball starts going in the bucket,
Wow.
So I think that would be interesting. And then we got, to me, big fella Union in the second game. NC State Purdue. I think this is going to be slug fest. For those of y'all old heads that say they shoot too many threes, they game too fast, where the post players, here you go. My man Zebo Jr., Big Burns.
Jay Burns.
And I don't care what you say about him at the next level, right? We'll deal with that in June. Big Edie, man. Big Edie is at this level. I don't care about the NBA. I don't care what he do. In this thing, you're a monster.
Yeah, he's solid as fuck, man.
What last 2 games? Last 2 games, what, 30, 39, and 40?
I think he's had 20, 10, and 5, 3 games. 20 points, 10 rebounds, 5 blocks, 3 games. The only other person to do that is Anthony Davis and David Robinson.
What company? What company to be on the college level? To say David Robinson in anything in college is no.
I mean, you just got to give him his due. He's a great traditional
He's a
big,
great, yeah.
and he's still showing you that can be effective in today's game. You know what I'm saying? And rock with it. Shout out to Matt Payne and the staff for the development. You know,
Let
because
me
it took
say,
some time.
let me say this: if I'm coaching Purdue, I'm gonna tell you, we talk about a $500 fine for Russell Westbrook shooting threes. It's $500 fine. Purdue, y'all got NIL money. Don't ever throw Zach. Don't ever throw Zach Edey a bounce pass. Throw it high where his hand is at. You throw it there. Because the one thing Edey does that I love, he catches it and he don't bring it down.
He's going
Catches
straight
it
up.
up here, he turns. And once he catch it up here and turns, it's done.
And you can tell he's a very coachable kid. You know what I'm saying? Just his demeanor, the whole deal. He don't frown up. He look like he a solid teammate with his cats. You know what I'm saying? So it's like it's easy to root for him. You know what I'm saying? Just in that regard, it's very easy to root for him.
I'm gonna tell you like this: for Purdue to win, I'm just gonna say, if Zach Edey is on that floor, Purdue, I'm gonna tell you one thing you don't do on defense. You got to put in the Joker rule. Do not double. DJ Burns is a very good passer.
Yeah.
Do not double. If they double and they swing, it's going to be a bucket. Or he cut somebody cutting, that's 2 points. You got to let dude. This is a game that has to be about the others because Edey and Burns have to cancel each other out.
If I'm tell you where the others the advantage, DJ Horn.
Yeah.
DJ Horn, he got that. I think he can take that advantage over the Purdue guards. What's the guard from Purdue, number 3?
Number 3, that's
one guard. Like, he's solid as hell too.
He's a good guard.
He don't make a lot of mistakes. He's solid. Mm-hmm. But DJ Horn got that, like, I'm one of them, dog. I'm gonna kill him.
if you NC State, you gotta get that pick and roll switch and get Edey out the lane.
I think they gotta win that matchup.
You gotta get Edey out the lane because you can't play Edey off the floor, but you have to make them make a choice.
Yeah.
You gotta make them make a choice.
If you NC State, besides that, when that ball goes in the air, find a body and box out.
Box out.
Yeah.
Box out.
Mandatory.
Box out. Box out. So it's gonna be good. So my prediction, I know y'all ain't big on predictions. My prediction, I think, is gonna be, I'm going chalk. I think UConn has just been too dominant this tournament. That it would take, to me, they would have to hit a severe bump in the road to lose. And I like Dawn. I think South Carolina, coming off of last year now, I think what they have on the perimeter, they'll defend Caitlin. They can defend Caitlin different than LSU did. Right. I think Dawn won't just Caitlin will get hers because she's Caitlin. Dawn won't just let her run them up. It just won't be a free looks at the hoop. Give me UConn in South Carolina this weekend.
That's where I'm going as well. For that, because I think I think UConn got enough hoopers to out hoop the others on Iowa. They'll
Yeah,
win that matchup. You know what I'm saying? In terms of that, I think that'll be the case there to get through that one. And South Carolina, man, they if they can avoid those droughts
yeah,
and then get hit with them 10, 12 slugs, 10 0, 12 0 slugs like that, you know what I'm saying? Especially after they balled up and got up 15-20, that'd be cool. But I think they probably go get pushed again though, to the brink. They probably go come down to the final a couple possessions, whatever the case. You know what I'm saying? They get pushed, but they're gonna have to earn it if they're gonna go all the way
yeah,
through.
yeah. So yeah, I'm gonna take South Carolina on the women's side, and I think UConn on the men's side
Yeah,
is what I'm
chalk.
gonna go with.
South
I'm going
Carolina
chalk
women,
as well.
South Carolina women are expected to win this game against North Carolina State. But North Carolina State women got a bunch of women that work their FedEx 3 to 12. They ain't got no
You
Yeah,
have
kids.
to understand. You have to understand the logic behind it.
Understand that when I say that, that is not an insult. That's just grown women business. They actually
They
have a
also
girl.
go.
They actually have a girl that transferred from South Carolina to North Carolina State. So this is
hmm
kind of a revenge game for her. But with all that being said, I'm going South Carolina. They're not. I don't think they're gonna win double digits because North Carolina State can shoot the basket. They can shoot. Even though the 3-point line is a little bit shorter, they weren't shooting it behind the 3-point line. They was 26 feet back. So,
who you got South Carolina playing on Sunday afternoon?
ooh, I think I think Caitlin going back. I think Caitlin going back because they Gino is going again. He gonna run every defense possible. He has to. He has to. But they just ain't. They ain't it. They ain't it. You know, I'm gonna tell you like this. I'm gonna tell you like this. Gino got the scheme, but he don't have the staff to stop Caitlin.
Yeah,
If he had North Carolina State girls, I'd pick you because those girls are scrappy, they're long, they're athletic, they're talented, and they get after. That's the problem that see South Carolina is going to have that type of issue. But South Carolina has one girl that kind of grew up with them little girls that I mean women that worked at FedEx from 3 to 12. But she was like, I'm gonna do this kind of part time, but I can still do this. I can still be part of y'all at the same time. And that's full word. Wow. Number 20. And she coming out the bench. She's the only one out of South Carolina that can give them girls a problem.
I thought
Besides
she got a
me.
forklift license.
Yeah, she got a forklift license, but she don't use it because
Yeah,
she works somewhere else. But
she
she knows
hustled her way into something better.
She'd have been around. She'd have been around. So yeah. So yeah. She'd have been around. So she know how to adapt to the environment. Me, Big Shot, I'm still going. I'm going South Carolina, and I'm going. I'm going back. Caitlin got to go back.
and then on the men's side, who you got?
My people's choice is UConn and Purdue
That's the one I want to see.
because everything aligns, and with that game aligns, that gives that our theory will still be on the up and up on the factual because you got good guard play, free throws, time and stops. But in this
Two real
instance,
coaches. Oh shit. Yeah, I
in,
like it.
in that instance, we can also, if the game is going to be played the way it's going to be played, if you got good quality bigs, you got good quality bigs on both ends that can play defense and offense. So that's what I'm going.
I want to see UConn Purdue. I just think they're the two best teams in the tournament. I think they. Go ahead, Jay.
I was just saying, well, the anticipation of it being mid, it probably end up being a real solid Final Four.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try to give it a chance. We might end up getting two good joints Saturday, especially if Alabama can score the rock. Like we know they're gonna score the rock.
They're gonna put it.
Right.
They gonna put the ball in there. They're gonna put it in there.
All right.
There will be no bullets in their clips.
No, they don't leave no scraps on the table. That's for sure. Now we're gonna close it out with the 2-week notice on the NBA. 2 weeks from, well, not even 2 weeks. April 14th, the last day of the regular season, and there are some intriguing things that have happened, fellas. We'll kind of rapid fire this thing. Since we haven't talked about the league in a while, but here's some things that have happened. Let's start with the West. Dallas has kind of gotten themselves together over the last 2 to 3 weeks. And with that, Luka has kind of pushed himself as a last-minute MVP candidate. I think it was kind of a Joker versus Shea, but Luka has kind of pushed Dallas further enough up the stand where you're like, well, we might have to take a Luka because Luka's numbers are just wow. So you got that going. Also in the West, we talking about the two teams, to me, disappointment because, and that's the Clippers and Phoenix. And I know Jay, Trav, we talked about the Phoenix. It seems like we just been waiting on, like, okay, when is Phoenix going to play 2 weeks of great basketball?
It better be now. It better be now.
Or is it the case where there just is no switch for them to hit?
It better be.
It just
now.
doesn't happen.
It just has to be now.
I mean, that bottom 4 of the 10 in the Western Conference, separated by 3 games, with Sacramento, Phoenix, the Lakers, and the Warriors. Those are like your headline dogs. It's like just those is that's who the people want to talk about. Just in a general standpoint, the national media, mainstream, y'all your talk shows and the whole deal, that's who they want to talk about. You know what I'm saying? What's wrong with this? The Lakers this. What's wrong with the Warriors? Y'all want to fix that, but the champs, game and a half out of first.
Yeah.
No, half game out of first. 1, 2, and 3 is separated by a game. So we tight there. And it's like everything just kind of like clustered together. That's the fun part about it out west. So it's like the play-in might match that 12.3. Just because you got Lakers, Warriors, Kings, Suns.
You know something?
They might match that.
That's right.
You're right.
Right, man. That's
because I feel like, you know, and I want to pat myself on the back like a Barry Horowitz situation. But I said it in the group months ago. I put the standings of the West. I'm like, I don't think this is going to change much. So, like, Denver, Minnesota, Oklahoma City, if you're waiting on the fall off, I don't think it's going to happen.
They ride.
So, you know, we was laughing. Me and Trav was talking about how the SGA Chet Holmgren commercial get played like every 5 minutes during the tournament. I'm
Shout
like,
out to Paul Pierce.
shout out to they trying to prepare y'all. We talked about this on the episode. This new wave,
Coming,
they here.
coming. It's here.
I mean,
If you
the brothers averaged 30 for 2 years in a row, y'all. I mean,
Door is open.
if you're waiting on LeBron and Steph and KD to like magically go back into the time machine from 10 years ago,
And
it ain't
cause
happening.
ESPN, y'all told all y'all self last year when y'all didn't know about them. Y'all told on y'all own self, talking about y'all didn't know how good the Nuggets really were. Like, y'all aired the Nugget game. Y'all
and
ain't even watching the game y'all air.
what's so sad about it is they still don't talk about
Still don't talk about
Listen, because they, they hope and pray. LeBron, like, no, it's not gonna happen. Some, I don't know what we wanted to. I know you like the experience. Listen, some Ham will remember this. Trav remember this. Remember when Pip, Barkley, and Elijah Wan was all on the Rockets,
it. Yes.
and they like, man, the Rotten, and what happened?
That
It
was my
never
senior
clicked.
year of high school.
It
That was my
failed.
senior year of high school. I
It
said,
never
man,
clicked.
I
Never
told
clicked.
them what happened. Man, that ain't gonna ride out the mold.
Yo.
It done. It was done.
So you gonna have to deal with SGA. You gonna have to talk about SGA and Chet and Dort and Cat, Anthony Edwards and Jokic. Yep, you're gonna have to deal with it. You're
When
gonna have to deal with it.
you go Wembanyama, you gonna hear about Wembanyama.
Victor's doing wild stuff. I can't wait till they give him people that want to pass him the ball.
I swear to God.
Hey, even for highlight purposes, even the dudes who been got like looting in the ride type situations like Jalen Green, they showing you, man, hey,
You
it's
know
like
what?
that.
Speaking of James Green, he ain't looking right. They done won they last pass
Man,
13.
Yeah,
They
you know
right.
what I'm saying?
They can take the Warriors. That's why
You know what I'm
he
saying?
wanted to talk about why
They just too back. They
why
just
he
too
was
back of the war.
why Curry was mad. Not only he was mad at Draymond leading him out hanging dry, it's the fact that you need him on the floor because these folks, these young guns are hot on their heels. And they need every game. Golden State needs every game now.
yeah.
Shout out to the Rockets too. They're playing above 500 right now. They still ain't better.
And they doing it without Sengun,
Right,
Which is wow.
which is
right.
crazy. And then you got the East. And I think it's the Boston Celtic Invitational, and we talk about here we go again, something that never gets right. I don't think it's gonna get right in Milwaukee.
Oh, they,
I just don't think it's gonna happen.
They get it right now. And Embiid is back tonight.
And
hey,
there's the wild card.
Embiid is back tonight.
The wild card is, does Embiid use these last 2 weeks to get himself together? Because if process is together by the playoffs, they
he might get
dangerous.
that's Mike who they have to see in round one.
Let me pull up they
Process against Giannis.
Yeah.
what is the Sixers standings right now?
I think they're eighth. Seventh,
7 through
eighth.
10. Yeah,
So they in a
7 is
plane.
Miami, fifth at
They in a
8,
plane.
Chicago down another team.
They in a plane. They are in that plane.
So you have a
In a
Philly,
play,
Miami, a Philly,
right,
Miami playing.
Yes.
right,
Ugh,
right.
ugh. That'd be yuck.
But see, the crazy part about that is the Heat was in this situation last year.
They
Yep.
were.
They lost the first game and won the second game, which put them at the 8th. and they made their
Yeah.
run.
Because they lost to the
Lost to the Hawks.
the playing Kings. I give
Well,
you now. I'm gonna give you a series. Now you know he had that one series that's only gonna be on NBA TV. Like that one series, they're never gonna be on the real channels. They're gonna be on NBA TV.
Orlando and somebody.
I think it's gonna be Cleveland, Indiana. It's gonna be the NBA TV series.
if they stay where it is, yeah.
6, 3, 6.
Yeah.
Cleveland is kind of just hung on that third seed. Cleveland and the Knicks have just kind of hung on to them spots all season.
Sure, the Knicks had got up to 2 of them.
Yeah, Matthew Gordon told us watch out. Shout out Matthew Gordon, though.
Hey, them NBA 2K delight ass teams right there between
I'm
3
finna
and
tell
6.
you. I'm
That's
finna
not
tell
what it
you
is,
this
man.
about. Here's the
You
thing
run with on NBA 2K. That's what you do with them. The Cavs, the Knicks, Orlando, and that's what you do with them. The NBA 2K delight portion of the Eastern Conference.
Here's the thing about the Knicks, man. You're happy they in the playoffs because they're in. It is something about the New York Knicks environment and playoff
It's the Garden.
basketball.
Oh, it's great.
It's the Garden.
Yeah, it's great. It's fantastic.
That defense that they got in New York is just one of a kind. It's historic. It's been the same since the 70s. It's been the same. It's just a historic way. They're gonna make it to the Eastern Conference Finals.
No. Because you're gonna say their chance to make the Eastern Conference Finals was purely on them staying away from the Celtics as long as they could.
They haven't, big shot. They haven't made the Eastern Conference Finals in 24 years. You do know that, right?
25. If it be this year, it'd be 25. Yeah.
What's going on? It's 24 right now.
It's 24 right now.
It's about to be 25.
No. They made it in 2000.
They did. They didn't make it to the conference finals in 2000. They got beat in the first round.
They did?
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Trust and believe. It's the Knicks.
99.
They made the playoffs.
5 years.
They ain't made the conference finals this millennium.
This don't make
Since they went to the finals.
Since they got beaten the half season by San Antonio.
Because none of them fell around short. They lost to Indiana in 6.
I was thinking they made it in 2000 for something.
No, they lost early in 2000.
Yeah. The Knicks they're not healthy. And if they're not healthy, like if they ain't got Anunoby or Randall, they have no chance of beating Boston.
That's fair.
No. It was a little bit of a chance with them. Without them,
Basically coming down to, once again, the healthiest of the best available. We'll see you in June.
And I think, for Boston, what lessons has Boston learned from the last 2 years?
If they're not hitting the three, they're not winning.
Who, Boston?
Yes. Boston has been a real good 3-point shooting team, but when they're not hitting the three, they're not winning. And if they're not healthy, they sure as hell.
In Boston, and I hate to be, I don't want to, I hate to fall into comic book nonsense, as Han would call it. Boston's end of the game problems are real. Like, if you keep the game close with Boston and get in the last 2 minutes, they are prone to doing crazy stuff.
You got a shot.
You got a shot. Like, if you Boston and Milwaukee, like, okay, the game is close in the last 2 minutes. Giannis and Dame versus Jalen and Jason. So I think Boston is the heavy favorite, but we're gonna see what they learn.
One
What
thing
they learned from the finals experience and what they learned from last year.
besides
Is it
Tatum,
safe to say?
yeah,
Is it safe to say that if you had confidence in anybody in particular, either side, it would be the champs, just because they're the champs?
oh yeah, you gotta run it back with them.
Yeah, I haven't seen in Minnesota and Oklahoma City is still a case. It's like when the Warriors in 2015. Until you see them do it, you're gonna always have the doubt. And it's Minnesota, Oklahoma City are wonderful stories. But when you haven't been there and now you playing with expectation, how do you handle it? We saw the 2015 Warriors handle it, win the whole thing. But I'm with you, Ham. Until somebody does it, I think even if Denver stays in that 3 seed, I would still pick Denver. Just the experience. Now, here's your question, Travis Ham, and then we're going to wrap up because we're going to have a full playoff preview show in 2 weeks. We're going to give you a little sneak preview. If you had to pick one, Minnesota or Oklahoma City, if you had to pick one.
Oh, Minnesota.
That's my pick.
Rudy Gobert, Kyle Anderson, Mike Conley. With
If
Big Cat makes so much of a.
even catching
People
them in
can
the
say
playoffs.
people can say that he passed the guard to Ant-Man, which is perfectly fine. But to match up against Denver, you have to make Joker play both sides.
Yep.
Big Cat can make Joker play both sides. And that is why I would go. I would go with Minnesota, but if he's not there, the best bet, I mean, by a slight, no slight, with Minnesota still. Because Oklahoma City, Chet, SGA, and the rest of them guys, you don't know where it's coming from. But believe it or not, the last 4 minutes on the clock, SGA got that ball in his hand.
Oklahoma City has SGA as a finisher. What I don't like about Oklahoma City, especially the matchup with Denver, and OKC is a little too. I'm gonna say this: they a little too thin. They a little thin for me. And as much as I like Chet,
he ain't in for Joker.
Chet gonna have to play Joker 1-on-1 in the series. Too late. If Cat is healthy, I'll say this. I will give my official playoff pick. I want to see the injury report on Cat on April 15th. If Cat is all good on April 15th, I am tempted to pick them to win the West.
Shot. They got a shot because Anthony Edwards is with all the smoke and then some.
But like Ham talked about, you got the superstar in Edwards. Cat is a great secondary player. You got old heads like Conley and Kyle Anderson that have been there. They got pieces around it with like a Nas Reed, a Jalen McDaniels, like that. that is a really and of course Gobert. I'm gonna reserve my right on them until I see what the injury report look like. I reserve.
I'm with you, Big Shot. I'm with you. I gotta see Big Cat. Big Cat is healthy. That if he's available, I ain't gonna say healthy because when they get down to the playoffs, nobody is not.
Right.
If he's available, that is gonna be key because they're the only team that got 2 7-footers that can switch and take turns with Joker offensively and defensively.
Yeah. And they have the athleticism and the size to not only deal with Joker, but to deal with Aaron Gordon.
Yes.
To deal with MPJ. But we're gonna see. We're gonna come back to this 2 weeks from tonight, the playoff preview show. We're gonna get into it heavy on both sides. We'll have the matchups. We'll know the play-in. That might be a watch-along night because the play-in will be on. We probably had a game to play-in on.
Let's do that.
We'll probably do that, man. Listen, Trav in the building, Ham in the building. Shout out MJ. Shout out, man, Coach Les at the Geico Nationals this weekend. Shout out Coach Les. Shout out MJ. Basketball for the people.